Am I live? Good evening, everyone. Let me pull my little situation closer. I feel so blessed to be alive. Um, and I really mean that when I say that. And also, oops, all my stuff is falling down. I'll say it again. I am really blessed and I'm very thankful to be alive. Um, can you all hear me okay? I hope so. Um, let's see, let me look down at my phone. If there's no static and see, can someone put a 5 in the chat and let me know that you can hear me? And then I will make sure that I'm not on mute. Because my microphone mutes itself all too often. And sometimes I don't even know it's on mute. And I've been talking for several seconds. Oh, okay. Good. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's Friday night. Normally, or I guess for the past few weeks, I've been doing Friday night vibes, Friday night lives. Tonight, it's a little different, but for a good reason. Before I go ahead and get started, I just want to say thank you to every single person that is here, that is in the chat, that are in the bushes, and those also who are going to be watching the replay. I just want to say that I'm super thankful for all the support and really how this channel has grown. And it's really all because of you. And I honor you. And I just want to say thank you with all of my heart. Thank you. And yes, I am glad to be alive. I'm grateful and thankful. And I say that because, earlier this year, I couldn't see past some things. And there were plenty of times that I did not believe I would see it through until the end of the year. And so when I say I'm thankful to be alive, I really mean it. Let's start out with some refreshing. And I used to do this all the time, but I kind of stopped. I don't know why, but I really believe in being transformed by the renewing of our mind and by the love that we have and share for ourselves and each other. So I want you to just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy, okay? Hopefully you enjoy. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That really helps. And share this channel if you think this might be useful for someone else. That would mean a lot. So in 2 Chronicles 7:14, this is the passage where the Lord appears to Solomon. And there's one part in particular that I'm going to focus on. And so here we go. Starting at verse 11, so 2 Chronicles 7, verse 11, the Lord appears to Solomon. When Solomon had finished the temple of the Lord and the royal palace, and had succeeded in carrying out all that he had in mind to do in the temple of the Lord and in his own palace, the Lord appeared to him at nighttime and said, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as a temple for sacrifices. When I shut up the heavens so that there is no rain, or command locusts to devour the land, or send a plague among my people, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and I will heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayers offered in this place. I have chosen and consecrated this temple so that my name may be there forever. My eyes and heart will always be there. As for you, this is thus saith the Lord, if you walk before me faithfully as David your father did, and do all I command, and observe my decrees and my laws, I will establish your royal throne as I covenanted with David your father when I said, you shall never fail to have a successor to rule over Israel. Okay. This is one of my favorite scriptures as well, and it is in Psalm 56. And it says, record. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. My throat. Be careful to me. Okay, this is Psalm 56 and 1. So I'm going to read verse 1 and then jump to verse 8 and 9. Be merciful to me, my God, for my enemies are in hot pursuit. All day long they press their attack. My adversaries pursue me all day long. In their pride, many are attacking me. When I'm afraid, I will put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise, and in God I trust. I am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? All day they twist my words. All their schemes are for my ruin. They conspire, lurk. They watch my steps, hoping to take my very life. Because of their wickedness, do not let them escape. In your anger, God, bring the nations down. Record my misery. List my tears on your scroll. Are they not in your record? When my enemies, then my enemies will turn back when I call for your help. By this, I will know that God is for me. In God, whose word I praise, in the Lord, whose word I praise, in God I trust and am not afraid. What can man do to me? I am under vows to you, my God. I will present my thank offerings to you, for you have delivered me from death and my feet from stumbling, that I may walk before God in the light of life. Amen, amen, amen. And so that brings me to this topic of triggers. And I feel that on tonight, this is a very relevant conversation to have. Not to disparage anyone and absolutely not to make light of psychological health and well-being and emotional health and well-being. However, triggers come at any given moment. And when we see individuals on YouTube waving guns around, the word triggered screams loud. What do you think? And so Earlier today, actually, let me go ahead and see who's here. Oh my goodness. Hi, hear her. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, Forever Luzon. Hey, LB. How are you? Good morning, C. Hey, T. Did you enjoy your glass of wine? I'm enjoying one now at 12:22 a.m. So good to see you here, and I hope that I hope your eyes aren't too dreamy because I know you probably waited up, you know. But I so appreciate you being here. Spring McClary, how you doing? Good morning. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Wow, wow, yeah. It never lied. Hey, BJ Des. Good to see you. I hope you feel refreshed and well rested. Hello. Gratitude. Thank you for being here. See, my mic keeps going out. Hey, girl. How you doing? T for Every Luzon. Okay, that means you guys could hear me well. Hey, Jack. Good to see you. Always good to see you. That's right. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Yes, please hit that like button every time I see that picture. Oh yeah, that would be amazing. I'm at like 280 something. So, oh my God, if I can get to 300, that would be great. Oh yeah. Cheers to you. Cheers, cheers, cheers to you. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. That is so sweet. Yes, scriptures, world of gratitude. I feel like they are very important, not only for me, but I really do believe that they can refresh and renew all of our minds, all of our hearts, and all of our spirits. Hey, McClurg, nice to see you. I know. I know. So, in tonight's topic, um, I just wanted to address some triggers. And this is relevant in so many different ways, okay? But I can really just speak for myself and hope that it kind of resonates with everyone here and everyone listening. So earlier today, I was busy working, trying to also handle personal business. And I ended up stopping by the car dealership to find out, hey, Pam, to find out, oh, you know what? I was just so perplexed at the events of today, Pam, that I felt like I was losing my cool. So, and I was sad, I was stressed, I'm biting my dang nails. And dare I say, I was triggered. Okay. Hey, Miss Joyelle. So, long story short, I went to the dealership to figure out what's going on with my car because my car broke down on me last Sunday on my way to church. And I hadn't and when I brought my car, well, I actually had to have my car towed to dealership when I had my car towed, the lady there said that I could come back or call on Monday. Man, I feel like it's like closing. They said I could call on Monday and get a loaner car until my car was ready. And so, surely enough, I went back on the Monday and I had stated that I was informed I would be able to have a loaner car issued to me until my car was repaired. Even on that day, I was given the runaround. They said, "Oh, we haven't done your diagnostic today, but we should have we should know what's going on. We should know by, what did they say? By Wednesday or something like that." And so I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, how about the loaner car?" I was informed that I would be able to get a car until my car is fixed. The response was, "Oh no, until we have an official diagnosis of what's wrong with your car, we're not able to do that. But we're giving you a special rate at Enterprise Rental Car, and so you pay out of your own pocket, and if the stars align, you can be reimbursed for the rental car." And I said, "Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to get a rental car." So here we are. I've had this rental. Mind you, I think I remember telling you it's very small. I just want to have my car, the one I'm paying payments on and everything. And so today is Friday. Okay. I haven't been able to get in contact with anyone, and no one has contacted me at all. And so it's Friday. I'm like, I was supposed to return this car tomorrow, and I just needed to know what's going on, because I need to figure out if I'm going to have to, break the bank and rent this car for several more days, or if there's some answer as to what happened with my car. Mind you, it's well under the 100,000 mile warranty. There's like 36,000 miles on there or something like that. And so when I go to the dealership today, I was very calm. I was very just regular, and so when I walked in there, no one offered to help me. And so obviously I kind of get closer and closer to the service counter. There's a 6 feet social distance, and there's a line. So typically when you're in a line, they ask, whoever's next, can they help you? Not a single person that saw me, like, even offered to say, has anyone helped you? Have you been helped already? Or will even be right with you. Nothing. And so another person walks in after me, and they were greeted, they were offered help right away. And so I go, "Oh, okay. So maybe I just need to let someone know that I need help." I didn't even take offense to it. I just said, "Oh, okay. They may not," and I give them the benefit of the doubt. They may not know that I need some service help, although I'm in the service department at the dealership as a customer, clearly. Okay, so I just walked to the nearest, personnel, and I recognized one of the persons there because she's helped me before. I always come here when I need to get an oil change or anything, any kind of maintenance or service that my car needs. It's not like this was my first time there. So I recognized one of the young ladies, and I kind of like looked at her like, are you busy? Like, and so she seemed very, and then, okay, so mind you, before I got her eye contact, there was another lady who was not doing anything. She looked right at me and didn't, and she just kept doing whatever she was doing. And so I was like, okay, so she's not going to help me. So this other young lady that I was saying I recognized, she comes over to, trying to talk to me, but seemed like she was just too busy to see why I was even there. People like, when they talk to you, you can kind of get the energy that they just want to kind of like rush you along and like shoo you away. So that was kind of the vibes that I was getting. Like everybody was just too busy to just see why I was even there. And so, maybe I had a serious look on my face. I don't know. I'm pretty sure maybe I did. I probably did, because I hadn't heard anything about the status of my car and couldn't get a hold of anyone. Excuse me. So this young lady finally asks, why are you here? She didn't ask me why are you here, but, basically, what's up? And so I let her know, I dropped my car off on Sunday night, and I was in the service center to find out if there are any updates on my car that she could tell me. And she goes, oh, okay. So she pulled up my car, my name and my number and all that stuff. And in their system, there's no notes about my car, like none. And so she goes, oh, there's no notes here. So let me go upstairs and ask them what's going on. And so she prints out this little paper. She gives it to the one lady who looked at me and acted like she was too busy to help me. And she told that lady to go upstairs and find the guy, Willie, who is my service advisor. And so she goes and whatever. And, oops. Then they ask me, who is my service advisor? And I say, his name is, William. And she goes, oh, okay, Willie. So she goes, okay, go ahead and go show this to Willie and go get him. And so Willie comes down, and this is kind of where the triggering comes into play. And God help me as I try to recount how I felt and what happened. So he's a tall, probably middle-aged, going gray, Caucasian man. And so I asked him again. I said, hi, my name is Andrea. I checked in my car on Sunday night. Sunday night. To them, it's Monday, right? Because I had to leave my key in the drop box on Sunday night. So they didn't really check my car in until Monday. So, but I said, yeah, I left my car here on Sunday. And the reason that I'm coming in right now is just to find out if you can tell me any updates about my car. And so immediately he's on level 10. His hands are in the air. He's exasperated at me. And I asked him just like that. I just said, I checked my car in on Sunday, and I just came in to see if you can tell me any updates on my car, And like I said, immediately his hands are in the air. He's like so aggressive. And this is what he said. God, he was like, he started out with saying something to the tune of, okay, and this is how I felt like, the feeling of when someone's rushing, like trying to rush you through something, and they don't take you seriously. They're just going to just try to tell you something to get you out of their face. And so that's kind of what he did. And so he starts off, and I'm going to try to kind of do a role play of like how I perceived his response. And so his hands are in the air. He goes, so you checked your car in on Monday, right? Okay. So as I had previously told you on the phone, or previously told you, so God, I'm getting like upset. So like I already told you, basically is what he said. It takes Key a few days. It takes us a few days before we can really know what's going on. And yeah, that's all I have for you right now. That's all I have. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. And so he goes and proceeds to like end the conversation. And I said, and at this point, now you can feel your face getting warm, and you can feel yourself getting upset, but you really need to answer so bad that you're just pressing through and you keep your composure. And so, dare I say, the black girl had arrived, because when he answered me on a level 10, I had to answer him back, not at a level 10, but I had to let him know that this is not the way I'm going to allow anybody to speak to me or treat me. And so my response, when he just was like, okay, I have no answers. That's all I have for you right now. Yeah, I already told you, and my response was, and this is how I said, so I don't want to hear about what you claim you've already told me. I'm here for a current status update on my car. Okay. At that point, I think I got his attention. And I think I probably got some of the other coworkers' attention as well. And so I said, again, I checked my car in on Sunday. I haven't heard anything about what happened with my car. And I'm here for a current update. It's now Friday. I was informed that I would know something by Wednesday, and Wednesday came and went. I tried to get in contact with someone to find out what's going on, and now here it's Friday, and I have to continue to I have to know whether I need to extend my rental car or not. So I'm here for a current update on my car. And so again, his response was a little bit more of a level 9, maybe 8.5. And he repeated himself saying, I have nothing. I know nothing. And I'm sitting up here saying, like, I really didn't understand. And this is what I'm thinking. I didn't understand how he could not know anything. And so in that moment, I was reminded that when the other lady pulled up information about my car, there was no notes in the system about anything, no notes at all. That had me worried. And so when he started to explain it again, he started to explain it a little bit better. And he kind of broke down the system. And he said, look, at this time, our hands are tied, and we're waiting on Kia to get back to us about what is wrong with your car. He says, that is our system. That is our procedure. We have to wait to find out what Kia says. And he said, there are no results of any diagnostic that he can let me know right now. He said, all I can tell you, and this is what made me so angry when I left out of there. He said, listen, Pam. He said, all I can tell you is that something is wrong with your engine. That was the trigger. That was one of the triggers, honestly. There were so many things about this thing. When I got out of that thing, I called my grandpa and I said, can you believe, in addition to all these other things, at that point, I was like, my voice was shaking. Let me stop fast forwarding. Well, I will just say this part. When I called my grandpa afterwards, I said, can you believe he said, all we can tell you is that something is wrong with your engine? I said, duh! That's why I brought the car in. Okay. Oh my God. And so, okay. Then he proceeds to go back to his level 10 after he said, that's all I can tell you is that something is wrong with your engine. Then he proceeds to go back to level 10. And I'm just sitting up here just looking at him like straight in his eyes. I'm listening to everything he's communicating, verbal, nonverbal, all. He then proceeds to tell me, look behind me. Do you see this stack of papers? I have about you and 300 other people that want to know what's up with their car. That want, he starts going there. You look at this stack behind me. Look at this stack right here. There, I have you and about 300 other people that are wondering about their car. And Kia is, he says, like their backlog is impacted or whatnot. And at this point, like my eyes start to well because I feel so disrespected and I feel so belittled and I just feel so unimportant and I just feel so like so many different things. And I'm like, what would possess my personal service person to tell me I'm in line behind? No, he goes, yeah, I'm in line behind 300 other cars. And then he proceeds to, first he tells me to look behind him at the stack of papers. Then he tells me to look in front of him at the stack of papers. And then he proceeds to try to point my head to look out the window to see all the other line of cars that are ahead of me or behind me or in need as well. And so at this point, my eyes start to well up and my heart is just like paused or something. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was like, and I'm sure he saw that. So then and then my eyes kind of got soft at him because I started looking at him like, you really know you're telling me this right now? And my shoulders just kind of relaxed because what more could I do? But my eyes were welting up and I tried to really keep my composure. So then he comes around and he says, oh, look. Then he tries to reason with me at this point. He goes, look, I'm sorry that we don't have any answers. I realize that you want to know something. And I just interrupted him at that point and I said, I only came in here to find out a status update on my car. I deserve to be communicated with on the status of my car. And this is where I kind of, my I kind of leveled up when I said this next statement. And I said, and trust me, by now, all eyes are on our conversation, but I'm not focused on I'm just focused on him. And of course, I have to look up because he's tall. And he tries to lean in and put his hand on my elbow as to try to comfort me. And I just kind of relax backwards, like, don't fucking touch me. If you touch me, it's going to be this pin in your neck. Like, I just had to reach back and just kind of keep talking because he was trying to calm me down by touching me. This is the last person on earth I would ever want to touch me. That energy and that spirit, I don't want any parts of that. So I proceeded to tell him, I said, I have the right to come in here and ask peacefully about an update concerning my car. I was told I would have a diagnostic on Wednesday. It's now Friday, and I have heard nothing. And what is the procedure as far as communicating with your customers about what's going on with their cars? Is the procedure to not communicate in almost a week, or what? I said, I am here for my car. What other people are doing and how many other cars you have ahead of me and all these other things that you wanted to point out, I said, that's none of my concern. And it has nothing to do with why I'm here. And I said, I deserve at least a minimum of reasonable communication. That's all I ever was asking. And so he, relented. He goes, oh, you're right. And he tried, and then I think something clicked and he realized, like, oh my God, what did I say? And now he starts telling me, I'm so sorry. You're right. And I was calm, but I was very expressive, okay, at the same time. And then he goes, this job, he starts telling me this job is so stressful. I'm sorry I snapped on you earlier. Sometimes I go home at night and I have a little one and I snap on my little one and he starts putting his hands on his head, like, oh my God, like, what have I done, kind of thing. And he goes, sometimes I can't sleep at night. And I said, well, I really hope you do well with handling that. And so what can you tell me now? What can I expect now that I'm here? The update is you have no information that you can provide me except for something is wrong with my engine. Duh! So what do we do? What do we do from here? Can you help me at least with what is next? What should I expect? And he says, well, we might or we might not have an answer today, at the latest Monday or Tuesday. And I said, okay, thank you so much for providing me this update. I will be back on Tuesday. I said, thank you for your time. And I left because I could not take any more from this person. So I'm just like, I could already tell they're giving me the runaround from the get-go. But when I came and there was no notes, nothing. Not we did a diagnostic on the car, we're waiting for a result. No notes. So I'm like, did they even do anything? So I was very frustrated. But when I left out of there, I had a panic attack because I was so upset at how I was treated. So I called my grandpa, of course, because I talk to my grandparents every day. And my grandpa was also wondering what update I could give him about my car. And additionally, he's a mechanic. So he's very vested in this whole repair. And so I ended up, I couldn't hold back tears because I was having so much anxiety at that time. And so I ended up telling my grandpa, I'm gonna have to extend the rental car because they don't have any answers. And I ended up telling my grandpa the way that I was treated, and I was like, I told my grandpa, I said, the way that he was speaking to me, I felt so belittled, and I felt like a roach being smashed under a carpet, like unseen, unheard, unnoticed, definitely unwanted, and unimportant. For me to have to say, well, I'm here for an update on my car. Anyone else's car, anyone else's vehicle repair, no matter if it's 300 or 600, that's none of my concern. That's not why I'm here. And so this brings me to this next thing, because when I tell you I was seriously triggered, and I didn't know at the time when I was talking to this gentleman why I would be triggered and that I actually would be. And so, you know, it ended up affecting me even, after I ended up extending my rental at the dealership. um, I had to go, back to work. And as soon as I got to work, I was weeping unconsolably. And I was weeping and anxious and panicked and stressed the whole afternoon. While I was at the dealership, I was missing Saki's live. That may seem like something small, but I really enjoy her lives. And I couldn't even communicate with people that I really, enjoyed chatting with, because I was dealing with someone belittling me in such a way that I felt like it really triggered me. And so I think I commented in Saki's chat, I'll be in and out. And I just, at the end of it, by the time I was able to, finally sit and chat, I had made it to the office here by where I live. And, I was just so sad. I was so sad that I didn't have any updates on my car. I was so sad that I felt sad. I was so sad that I had a panic attack when I've just been doing so well. I was so sad that I missed Saki's live, honestly, too. And so I think I said something like, I'm in and out or something, but, I love you all. And then once I finally got to the office and I was able to, just listen to what was said, I realized I had missed everything. And I really wanted to hear about what her patient said to her. But anyway, I digress. I was so sad. I was weeping, like I couldn't believe it. I was very disappointed in the whole professionalism or lack thereof. And it caused me a short-term amount of distress. So much so that I ended up, talking to a group of friends that I really love talking to, and I couldn't even focus on what was going on. I was so perturbed. I didn't know what was going on. I just tried to listen and, be involved, but I was so sad. And then I tried to, get on with them in another way. And I couldn't even focus. I felt like at that moment, I can't do anything right now. And I know that's not true. But considering what happened, that's how I felt. And so I just left and ended up finishing my work, How I end up finishing my work, I don't know. But I was like sad the whole time and just was honestly on autopilot, typing, scanning my documents, sending emails. I was just doing things, and I made sure to write everything down that I did because I know I'm not going to remember what I did tomorrow, and I need to follow up on some things. So I thought, man, what am I going to do? I went by the, I ended up finishing my work. I was still weepy, but not as much. But once I wrapped up everything and Saki's live ended, I ended up watching another content creator that was talking about kind of some advice for YouTubers. And I was like, okay, I'll just listen. And as soon as I got into the car, the rental car, which I'm thankful to you, God, that I even, have any kind of means to have a replacement car while mine is being repaired. I don't want to seem ungrateful. So, but right when I got in the car, I just felt like alone. And it was dark. I was at the office by myself, so I could cry as loud as I wanted to, So that was a good thing. And I still had half of my coffee left. That was probably what helped me get through work, honestly. Okay, just want to make sure. But yeah, as soon as I sat in my car, I just sat back and cried, and I actually was weeping like heavily, and I couldn't stop crying. And I know a lot of it was anxiety and stress, and now I'm like shaky. I recognize that, but I couldn't recall right at that moment why I was feeling that way. I just was trying to remedy it. It was just, all I kept doing was breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And my voice was like, whoo, I was like breathing, but I was crying. And so I said, damn it, I need to go get some wine. And so I pull up to, my corner store. And I sat in the car for about 10 minutes, just trying to console myself so I wouldn't be going inside a ball of tears. And I know my eyes are so swollen, and at this point, they're super puffy, and I'm just like, my face is just like a wreck. And so I finally okay, I'm on a cry pause, right? So I go inside the store, and they don't have my peach wine. And so I'm like, I wanted to cry again. And I'm like, So I get the pineapple, my Malbec, and I come, to the register. And at this point, it's like, okay, my timer is up, and my eyes want to just swell all over again. And of course, they know me there. So he was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Just kind of had a, tough day and all. And of course, I don't know, that was fine. He asked me what was up, and I kind of just told him, just a brief thing. I just, I felt like I was belittled, and it really affected me. And it was at a car dealership, and he told me his brother had a similar experience. So essentially, he was empathetic and understood at that moment what I was saying and how I could have been feeling. And that was comforting. So I ended up, that was kind of cool. And I ended up asking him how his Elf on the Shelf surprise went for his daughter, because that was the last thing we talked about. And he said everything ended up good. And so I came home weeping and crying. It's like the waterworks started all over again. And so I pull into my garage, and I just got out the car and came in the house, and my two little babies, my dogs, I feel like they knew right away that I wasn't okay. And immediately, normally when they jump on me when I get home, they're so reckless. Like, they jump on me hard. Like their paws are heavy on my legs, and it's like if they were bigger dogs, they would knock me down. That's how much energy they put in their excitement when I come home. But I feel like tonight when I came home, they were so different. Like they were I don't know, it's like they knew I wasn't okay. And they were very soft and not very needy, just kind of gentle. And I appreciated that. So I always picked both of them up. And usually I go over to my lazy boy chair, whatever it's called. It's like this, swing back rocking chair thing. And I usually like just fall into it, lean all the way back, and we rock, we hug, we rock, we hug. I say, "Oh my goodness, my little babies, I missed you." We do all the "I'm home, how are you" kind of things. They lick my face, they lick my hands and all that kind of stuff. Then I have to do a whole wash and everything. But anyways, this time we didn't do the rocking. We just sat down gently, and they just hugged me gently. And as gentle as they could be. Well, little Boo is just too active. So, she, bless her heart. But I know that they, and I'm pretty sure they could taste my tears or whatnot. Because, they always, lick the bottom of my chin. And that's where sorry, I know that's probably disgusting. But I think they could tell immediately when I came in. And they just let me hug them. And, then, of course, I let them outside. And so now I'm here. And I decided I was going to talk about this because I think it's important. So the types of triggers that other people may feel could have to do with anniversaries of significant dates, a certain memory, something on TV that reminds them of a particular event, like a certain time of day, certain meetings or being in the company of people, certain socialization events. Triggers could come from relationship issues or conflict, a physical impact, a certain emotion, something on the news. Being in a particular location can be a trigger. The sights or sounds or smells that can trigger a particular memory. Certain healthcare or medical issues can be a type of trigger. Being alone or feeling isolated, feeling judged or ridiculed, or having some financial issues. When I started doing some self-reflection and asking myself, why am I feeling this way? Obviously, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, I was triggered. But I didn't necessarily know what. I knew the source, but I didn't know what the very thing was that had me so weepy. And so, did I feel excluded? Did I feel powerless? Did I feel unheard? Did I feel scolded or judged? Did I feel blamed? Did I feel disrespected? Was there a lack of affection? Did I feel like I couldn't speak up? Did I feel ignored? Was I made to feel like the bad guy? Did I feel forgotten? Did I feel unsafe? Did I feel unloved? Or did I feel like something was unfair? Did I feel frustrated or disconnected from something, from my friends, from people that I care about? Did I feel trapped? Did I feel a lack of passion about something? Did I feel uncared for? Or did I feel manipulated? Some of the symptoms of anxiety that accompany me having a panic attack, or anyone maybe, is a racing or thumping heart, nausea, headaches, you get cold chills, brain zaps. Like something happens. Maybe my eyes might start twitching. I would most of the time I feel this big lump or frog in my throat. Maybe restless legs, shaking, a knot in my stomach, difficulty breathing, lightheadedness or dizziness, maybe having a hot flash or a certain area of my body tingling. Do I feel fatigued after something? Heart palpitations? Am I trembling? Do I feel muscle tension or body jolts? Or chest pressure in my chest, even ringing in my ears. Burning skin, like my face felt warm. Not burning, but just warm. Head pressure, body pain, memory loss. That's something I noticed I have to write things down because I knew I wasn't going to remember things. Other anxiety symptoms that you or myself may have are just feeling like you want to pass out, feeling shakiness in your stomach or other parts, feeling stabbing pains, and just feeling eye strain or tightness. Okay. Other triggers of anxiety, not necessarily for me, but for other people, may be being in a new environment, setting or establishing new routines, being in the company of strangers, sometimes the holidays, for whatever reason, can be a complete trigger. Having disappointments in your life, the anniversary of a death, the death of someone who is supportive, or a lifelong connection. Not knowing what to do in a situation, these are all triggers for anxiety. Being ridiculed or feeling mocked, misunderstanding a certain social context, or the breakdown of a relationship. Sorry about that. I got you. My bad. Hopefully you can hear me now. I'm so sorry. I had clicked off of StreamYard and for some reason the mic stopped working. Um, okay. Sometimes, let's see. Sometimes when things are triggered by trauma, that can trigger in some cases, the flare up of certain chronic illnesses. Um, Especially if you're dealing with a chronic disease, certain things like stress and anxiety can induce flare-ups, of MS or other kind of chronic diseases that people will face. And so I think if you're going through something and you want to know, did it freeze again? Hold on. Okay, you should be able to hear me. If you want to know why something is triggering you, you can ask yourself these questions that I kind of asked before. Did I feel scolded? Did I feel unheard? Did I feel lonely or ignored? Did I feel like I couldn't be honest? Did I feel manipulated or controlled? Did I get frustrated? Did I feel unloved? Did I feel unsafe? Those are some things you can ask yourself. But let's move forward to some of the protective factors against certain triggers. So sometimes when we have anxiety or any other psychological illness, there's things that we can be afflicted with, like chronic fatigue, excessive worry, excessive stress, feeling like we have to rush, feeling like we have to make up for lost time, just feeling, generally unwell. So this helps for some, but protective factors against some triggers can be exercise that can help with fatigue, that can help with just raising those endorphins, of course, and just increasing your physical health. Certain relaxation techniques, we've talked about it before, like meditation, essential oils, can eliminate those stress that can be caused by triggers. Having healthy meals and healthy snacks prepared can help instead of skipping meals. And that's actually something that I did today, and I've been in a habit of doing for, I don't know, about 3 weeks now. I tend to just eat one meal a day, and it's like late at night. Once I'm done with all of my work, then I can feel like I can sit down and enjoy a meal. But I need to kind of reevaluate these things in my own life, which is why I can kind of talk about it now. I do need to start preparing, healthier snacks and not skipping meals, because maybe that would help with my energy. So meditation is another thing. I'm learning that low hydration can lead to having triggers affect me more. So drinking a lot of water throughout the day, being intentional about drinking water helps. As far as neck tension that can be caused or induced by stress and anxiety, making sure that I take breaks while I'm working on the computer to stretch, to adjust my posture, and to make sure that I'm intentional about taking breaks away from the screen. I tend to sit when I'm in the office. I tend to sit at my computer, and I only get up unless I have to use the restroom. And I will just be typing away, and before I know it, I'm hunched over. So taking those intentional breaks to make sure I'm stretched and that my posture is good, it helps the stiffness that's in my neck even right now. And then sleep hygiene, developing good sleeping habits. So that's something I'm working on with my therapist. Okay. And so really and truly, I just hope that me sharing some of these things help you in some way. I feel like transparency is a gift and necessary. And I just hope that this has helped you in some way. Typically, I would not go live and talk about this. But since I have a YouTube channel, I thought, well, why not? Other people might have experienced some of these things, might have, had some triggers. Other people might be able to relate to this topic. Other people might be in mental health or in, a field that they can really either add to the conversation or, understand. They still haven't fixed your car. I know. It's really disappointing, to say the least. I know, it is such bull. I agree. Did I say hi to you already, Miss Joyelle? Hi, Miss Joyelle. I'm just going to go through and make sure I can see some of what you all are talking about, because I think I've been talking for like an hour. I would have cussed everybody out by Wednesday. See? Not that I didn't want to, Jennifer, but I was just like, you're very kind, Andrea. Oh, sometimes. Sometimes not. Oh, this is making me mad. I know. Pamela, I'm right there with you. See, if my car would have been there for a week and they don't know nothing, I would have been real nasty. I go off. It takes longer than an hour to do my oil change. Oh, I go off if it takes. Oh, wow. Really, Jennifer? You don't be playing. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. What does that mean? Hey, Christine. Thank you so much. How you doing? Yes, guilty. The Black Karen needs the manager. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure I'll get it afterwards, Miss Joyelle. Oh no, I would be demanding the owner. Oh, well, see, right. I would be so white and so gay, and then ask for forgiveness later. Jennifer, you're so funny. Aw, love you, McClure. Thank you. Hi. Let's see. They hadn't checked it yet. No. And no notes, which it just made me feel like, so my car is not important. The repair of my car, my mode of transportation for all of my activities is not important to anyone that is assigned to do these repairs. Not even important enough to put a note in the system documenting anything, nothing. And it's been there for almost a week. They were lying. I would say get Kia on the phone now. I'm not leaving until you do, but it wouldn't have been calm. So when I go in on Tuesday, then I probably will, Jennifer, ask to for the contact number of whoever he's trying to hear from, so I can find out myself just what is going on, if they're telling me the truth, because I feel like I've been getting the runaround since I dropped it off. Hey, Deborah, thank you so much for stopping through. Really need to go figure it out. Whew, I don't want to see that man. I don't want to see him. That's not your problem. These people are assholes. I felt like he was being an asshole, to be honest. I really do. Do you need me to come out there and get Willie together? Jennifer, if he tries to give me that same BS on Tuesday when I go, I might have to call your hotline bling and send you a plane ticket out here. Andrea, there was a recall on engine on some Kia. We had the engine replaced, and now there's a recall on the computer system. Recall on the computer system. You know what? Now that you mention it, when I went to go get my rental car I recognized one of the persons that worked at the dealership where I actually purchased the car, because I didn't purchase it from a Kia dealer. And he was like, "Oh, why are you here?" And I was like, "I'm getting a rental car. My car's in the shop." And he goes, "Oh," and his eyes got big. He was like, "Was it for a recall?" And at that point, I was like, "I don't know. I'm waiting to hear why." So maybe I need to get in contact with that dealership and ask them what recalls. Actually, I can go to the kia.org and find out what recalls, and if my car is one of the impacted ones. Good. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate that. Oh, I know. Thank you, Summer. Summer McClary, hi. I found out the McClary cousins are real, I think that's so cool. I have a Hyundai. I just got another recall notice. Really? The third one. But knock on wood, I've never had any trouble with mine. Wow. And to be clear, they don't need Kia to do a diagnostic on your car. That's what I'm saying. They have all the equipment in the service center. Why do they need Kia Corporation to give them? I don't understand. Oh, honey, I'd be driving my rental through their showroom. See, Pam, if I were to do something like that, I would be under the jail or shot dead. Miss Joyelle, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Right? Look at Jennifer. Pam and Jennifer, I need y'all. You guys are about it. Thank you, Hear Her. Yeah, I was so frustrated when we were on the phone. I couldn't even focus. I was just like, I'm supposed to be doing something. What am I doing? I just had to exit. But the question is, would he have talked to you or me like that? Because we are white. And so I feel he wouldn't have, Jennifer. I feel like because I'm a Black woman, and maybe in his subconscious he has implicit bias that I'm inferior to him. He felt it was okay to talk to me that way on level 10 when I was on level 0 as a normal customer asking, "Can you tell me any updates on my car?" I feel like Willie thought he could get away with it because it was a Black woman, right? And he ended up coming from behind the counter to talk with me, as in not to have me speak loud, and asking him what I was asking him, and the way I was communicating, I wasn't intimidated by him at all. I was very, very serious. Are they going to reimburse you for this rental? They will reimburse me for the rental, but that is going to take some time because they can't do any rental payments until they have a full diagnostic and it's recorded. So I'd never had this issue when I took my car in before. So I'm thinking it's something serious, and maybe it is a recall issue that they're not wanting to disclose to me. But what I'm going to do is investigate this a little deeper, because now that I'm getting the runaround, I feel like it's something more that they're not saying. I wish I had recorded this. So sorry for you. It has. Oh, really? I wish you had recorded this. So sorry for you. It has affected me with you telling me about it. Oh, Miss Spring McClary, I'm so sorry. I want you to know that I'm literally okay. I just, I was just upset. My dad actually did it over a new Camaro he bought that had fallen off the transport truck and fixed. They sold it as brand new. Oh my God. The fraudulent things that go on. Go to the owner or manager, Andrea. Call them if easier. Okay. Yeah, call the owner. Thank you, McClurg. Thank you so much for this. Thank you for all the input from Deborah Randall, from McClurg, Jennifer, everyone. Christine, thank you so much. Car dealers are so I know. That was my first thought. Yeah, it seemed like shady business and like I was getting run around from the jump, honestly. Thank you, T, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Pam. But I hope that I hope you don't go to bed mad, okay? I'm not going to go to bed mad. Trust me, I worshiped, I prayed, I cried. I had a glass of wine. And it's all good. I'm so mad that you were treated this way. If I lived close to you, I would be going there with you. I would appreciate that so much, too. But the sentiment really counts. So thank you, Jennifer. And thank you for trying to call me to unmute myself. This janky mic, I tell you, it has a mind of its own. Thank you, McClurg. We missed you too. Yeah, I missed it. I was so sad, McClurg. But let me tell you something. Oh my God. When you said that your grandpa told you that he don't eat raisins because they remind him of flies. Oh my God. Oh, and then the way Stocky was laughing. I swear. That really, I really needed that. I really needed that. When I was younger, I worked at a few dealerships. They are shady creeps. Girl, it was Friday. You know I am off on Friday. You should have called me. I would have listened and been, oh, thank you, Jennifer. When I get like that, I don't like to talk to people. I get I like seclude and isolate until I feel better. It's been a coping mechanism, not a healthy one, mind you. But now, my family knows, like, when I get like that, how they can kind of help me get out of it and stuff. But I was wondering where you were today. You'll be okay. Plus, you're getting tough on that guy. Oh, is that Jack? Thank you, Jack. Sexy. Yeah. That's how that type of person wanted you to feel. Oh, I'm sure. He probably thought I was going to be dismissed just as easily as he tried to dismiss me. But I've learned to be a better advocate for myself. Truly. Yes, Christine. Oh, you did. So you and I both, Christine, are gonna have to go back and watch the replay and make sure we leave some really good comments, because I didn't hear it from the beginning. I only heard the very last. Yes, that's what's up. The doggies always know they are the best. They really do. I have the best pets. Not okay, besides Bo. I'm finally up as I have been resting most of the day. I guess she would say I'm wound up. Okay. Love you too, Jack. Thank you, McClurg. Christine says. Smells. What my dogs smell? Yeah, they do smell. Pets know you so well. Yeah, they really do. And even right now, like they're just letting me, do this thing, and they're not licking my toes, pestering me. Any of that stuff, staring at me, demanding my attention. They're just, one is here sleep under the table right by my feet. That's Tuna. And the other one is like licking the carpet. I don't know what she's licking. But anyway, she's minding her business. I've had them my whole life. I totally get it. You talking about the pets, Christine? Yep, triggers are real. They absolutely are. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm so sorry about that. So anyway, I'm going to end off on something positive. And so I hope you are relaxing and enjoying your weekend off. I do too, Jennifer. You work so hard. I can't hear anything. I'm sorry about that, you all. My microphone is really janky. Good. I'm glad you had a nap. Yeah. I keep falling asleep at wrong times. Oh my goodness. Okay, great. All right, you all. It's very important to be safe and aware of your triggers. Yes, it really is. Thank you for the hugs, LB. Hi. Thank you, LB. Hope you're better now. I am. Have a good morning, everyone. Have a happy Saturday. I am doing a lot better. When my anxiety is elevated, I get short-tempered. Nothing helps me except getting up and being active. Sometimes being too active heightens my anxiety, so I really have to focus on deep breathing and mindfulness techniques and affirming myself. Like, okay, I know I'm feeling stressed, but I will make it through. You know, when I have those thoughts of like, oh my gosh, if my life was over, I wouldn't feel this, right? Not that I'm the S word, but sometimes I just want it to end and it doesn't end fast enough. So I have to affirm myself and saying, this won't last forever. Sometimes I have to read scriptures to myself, like the Lord is catching my tears in his bottle and he's storing them on the shelf and he's keeping track of how to help me in the future. That's why that Psalms 58, or I'm sorry, 56:8, he catches our tears in a bottle. He understands our pain. He understands what we're going through. It really resonates with me because I cry a lot. But I've learned how to mask my anxiety and depression very well. But what I'm doing now is learning how to work through those things, and being vulnerable and being out in places even when I'm feeling my worst, because I have to be able to get through life and roll through some of these things and not succumb to them. Well, in my meditation, right. Yeah. Honestly, sometimes cleaning does help. And so that's why sometimes like I can't just come straight home. And in fact, I do it so habitually. I'll just come home. I'll just start cleaning random things. And it's not in any order. It's like, I'll wash a few dishes here. I'll rinse out something there. I might throw some trash away, or I might sweep the floor. I might mop the floor. It's like, I might fold a towel. It's just random. It's just getting out. It's just using kinetic energy to get away from anxiousness. It's doing something so that you're, getting that out. So yeah, I do kind of relate to that. You have to you have to rest, especially when dealing with all the stressors of today's life. Yes, absolutely. I had 2 very stressful days at work. I was exhausted. My afternoon nap was wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Feeling hunger or in need of sleeps makes my anxiety worse for myself. When I have super anxiety, let me just tell you, I used to stress eat. I don't do it anymore as much, but when I was a coordinator for this after school program some years back, that job was so stressful because I had to make sure every single kid was accounted for at all times, had line of sight on all kids, and that they were kept safe during those after school hours until they went home. And do you know, every day after that program ended and every kid was accounted for and all the, the school was locked and closed down and everything, I would stop by Baskin Robbins. And this was like maybe let me stop lying. This was like 3 to 4 nights a week. I would stop by Baskin Robbins and I would order a large or extra large or the largest cookies and cream milkshake. And I would drink that milkshake all the way home. And by the time I got home, I was no longer stressed. So for me, it was effective, but not for my gut. Okay. So I had to change some things. It costs the dealership nothing to lend you a car. I know, McClurg. I know. And I was promised a loaner car, which is why I even asked, but then was soon denied. But the vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So I'm going to trust him in this process, even though I'm stressed the heck out about it. Because when my car broke down initially on Sunday, my very first thought was, oh my God, I'm going to have to buy a new car. And so instantly I started stressing about my finances and like, can I afford this? And like, it's just at the most inopportune time. But I'm not going to stress. I'm just going to trust. Got it, Jennifer. I'm just going to trust that things are going to work out. I'm just going to keep affirming myself and keep being positive. They have so many demos out in the lot. All they have to do is put a plate on it and give you the keys. I know. It's not hard. And it's their practice to do that. So it's just like, why is it not available for me? That was another thing that triggered me. Not healthy to shut down. I used to do that. Therapy helped change that for me. Yeah, absolutely. Dealerships are always on the cheap. I know. I'm like, what are they licking? What? Something deep down, apparently. I don't know. But funny that Bo does that too. Yeah, Chloe just, I don't know why. Yes, McClurg, the raisins. That had me laughing so hard. Wait, since we waited up for you, can I come up? Oh, yeah, of course. I would love for you to come up. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing this. I'm gonna while you're coming up, I'm gonna go through the rest of these comments and then get up on out of here. I have quite a few funny Grandpa Harry stories. Oh, McClurg, I would love to hear them. Hi, Mika. Is that really you, or is it a spam bot? There's so many comments. I don't know if that was really you or not. We got a troll in the chat. Oh, maybe it's a troll. Spring McClary. I think since the that word, a lot of anxiety hash trigger for everyone. Us losing a brother. Oh wow, I'm so sorry, Spring McClary. Last year and this year, I think it's hard for all of us. Oh yes. My condolences, double McClary. Oh my goodness. And Summer McClary. Now you all are really the McClarys, okay? All right. Hey Jennifer.
Hey, love.
Hey, how are you
Hey.
tonight?
I'm good. I feel relaxed. Feel a little bit somewhat vindicated today.
Okay. In what
Um,
way?
well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first of all, I just want to say I am so sorry that you're having to go through this. It is so annoying whenever you have car problems or problems with doctors who aren't listening. It doesn't matter what it is. Whenever you feel like you're not being heard and whenever
Yes.
people are dismissing you, it can be very triggering, um, no matter who it is. And it makes my anxiety ramp up, and my
Mm-hmm.
anxiety comes out in the form of anger. Not
Mm-hmm.
like violence, but like
Sure.
my mouth gets real slick. So
Mm.
so, that's why I told you, I'm off on Fridays, girl, call me. You know what I mean?
Aww.
If they give you the runaround on Tuesday, honey, you DM me. You're a few hours behind me.
Right.
I might be working, but honey, you tell them give you well, you send me their number and I will call the dealership and say, "Hey, I need answers." And if they say, "Well, we're waiting on Kia," I'll tell them I'm your brother, honey. And then I'm going to
Mm.
say, "Well, if you're waiting on Kia, then give me Kia's number so I can find out what's going on." Because they always like to push it off on somebody else
Yep.
whenever it's really their fault. And as soon as you start calling them out on their crap, then
Mm.
they will usually change their story.
Okay. This is really good advice because I think that if they do try to do the same thing on Tuesday, what I will do is ask to speak to the supervisor, manager, owner, and get a second opinion And then if they are still dismissive, then I will go up higher, because I don't think I deserve to be dismissed and like that, but I would especially not want that to happen to any other person. Like, what if it was a younger lady, younger than me,
Yeah.
treated like that? Imagine if I'm feeling this way and I'm in a full seasoned grown adult. Imagine how they might feel.
Before you say anything else, we have another troll in the chat. Can you block them?
Is it Donna Jones?
Yeah.
Do you know them?
No. They're just in here posting nothing. They're obviously a troll.
Yeah. Okay, let me get rid of this one too.
Because I think Hear Her is gone.
Okay, yeah, she probably is.
So, as far as the vindication goes, this is something that's been happening on YouTube today. And I don't want to get really messy into it.
Oh no, you're welcome. We can go ahead and get into it.
Well, here's my thing. I feel like oh wait, some Spring McCleary just said something about the dog. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you this too. So not only does Bo lick the carpet, he also licks the couch. And I looked it up, and it has something to do with either their anxiety, or they sometimes do it right after they eat to clean their tongue.
To do what? Oh, clean their tongue.
Yeah. So, but Bo is really anxious, and he does it a lot whenever he hasn't eaten anything. So I think his is more out of anxiety. He's actually doing it right now as we speak.
How funny. You got to take a video and send it to me whenever. Okay, I would love to see it. That would make me so happy, Jennifer.
He is hilarious. I thought he was asleep, but apparently whenever I started talking, he woke up.
He woke up.
But
your dog was our sister named Chloe. Your dog was our sister. Oh, so your sister's name was Chloe? Is that what that means, Jennifer?
I don't know. That was Spring. I don't know.
Spring. Yeah, Spring McClary. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, either her dog was named Chloe or her sister was named Chloe or both. Something around that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so as far as the things that have been going on the YouTube streets, I feel like people are finally starting to realize who a certain content creator is. I watched a couple of videos today because nobody else was going live, and I was bored, and my basketball team lost their game.
Oh no, is it college or pro?
College, yeah.
What team?
University of Louisville.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, let me see what's going on YouTube.
Right.
So as it comes to light, apparently a lot of the people that used to mess with a certain sunshiny channel are no longer messing with her anymore because they found out who she is behind the scenes.
Oh.
And, that made me feel a little bit vindicated because some of these people, had kind of turned on me after that situation. And I'm like, you don't really know who she is. And now they've seen it. And now they know it. So that was great.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is one thing that I've heard this particular or seen this particular person say. And I think maybe she spoke those things into existence when saying on what's done in the dark will come to the light. And I think maybe those things, are really happening. And maybe it's necessary for this person to evolve and, transform and do things differently.
Yeah, well, I don't think that that's going to happen because I think that that's who she is as a person. So I don't think that she's going to change. I think that she knows that what she did, she screwed herself, just like Monica screwed herself. And and that's the price that they have to pay. They have done wrong to the people who supported them and who
Mm,
were in their corner, and that's what happens, you know.
yeah.
And I will say that, you know, this content creator that realized it, she actually knew her in real life as well. So it's not just something that was a YouTube thing.
Oh,
So that says even more about it. Somebody else who I know supported her in her chat has also said the same thing. Actually, two people. One of them was her mod. Um, so I think that there are a lot of things that are going to be coming out. Now, they haven't all the way learned who people really are, because there's still a couple of people who, you know, they still think are okay who really aren't.
mm, yeah.
But at least they're learning something.
Yes. I mean, I actually agree. And I know that you said that you don't necessarily believe that someone is capable of change, and that is definitely true. But I still like to hold out a glimmer of hope for certain things, for certain peace making.
No, I'm not saying that people can't change. I'm
Yeah,
just saying, but if you want to change, you have to be willing to change, and you have to
right,
own up to what you've done. And I just don't think that that person has it in her.
right. And that's the other thing too. Just some people are not capable of taking ownership of anything.
Yeah. I mean,
Even if, yeah, even if they are in need of, like, maybe recanting something, or changing their behavior, or just acknowledging that they may have hurt someone, maybe intentional or not, may not have spoken up about someone that they maybe should have. I mean, if you don't see anything to address in your behavior, like you said, then there is very, very little likelihood that they will, change or do things different.
and I mean, we all make mistakes as human beings. And, you know, if we take accountability for it, and I think that if you are sincerely apologizing, then people will feel that. And so I have never heard this person apologize for anything. Rather than apologizing for what they've done, they're the type of person who twists it around and then goes after the person who they attacked. And, you know, it's just, people are going to be who they are. And at the end of the day, you know, as much as I have felt like, ooh, I want to do something, I want to get back at this person, I don't even have to. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
as I'm seeing right now, it will be exposed. That person will eventually show who they are to all of the other people who have supported them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's why whenever I've made my mistakes, and I've apologized for them, you hear her, the people that are in your chats, they all understood, like, I was really sorry. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
And
100%.
and so,
Mm.
but if you are not a person who, number one, can't even give an apology, much less a sincere one, I mean, that just shows me who you are.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I think it was, I know that there was a situation, excuse me, that got a little bit rough, on the video. Um, but what I also appreciated was that, there were some people who were not going to put up with the haunted forest, and told her about herself.
Mhm.
And they were not being disrespectful to her at all. And she started calling them all kinds of things out their name,
Mhm.
which was just really tacky, but not surprising.
Mhm. Yeah. And, you know, not to rehash old things, but I know that you were a part of that group of people that was talked really poorly about for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was just really nasty, really unmerited, Jennifer. Like, ugh, really unmerited. And I just felt so bad that
Well,
it just
let me say this. You know, they're always talking about mental health and da 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 da. Even though they're the biggest bullies and hateful people on YouTube. Well, maybe not the biggest, but I mean in the sector that we're in.
Mhm.
And you know, had this been, you know, like 10 years ago, well, probably farther back than that, but whenever I really suffered with depression really bad before I was in therapy and I had medication, I don't know what it would have done to me. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
can be real. I mean, there have been times whenever even now, like, you know, I've deleted my YouTube a couple times. And
Right,
then, you
you
know,
sure did.
then, you know, just came back and made a new account because I was like, no, you know, you can't let them not enjoy the people that you enjoy, you know.
Right, 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 right.
But there have been times whenever I was just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore because I feel like it's going to take me to a dark place.
Mm,
And, you know, not to
yeah.
say that I'm innocent in a lot of things, but, you know, how this all started was I was, you know, defending somebody who I believe in and who I thought was being bullied.
Mhm.
And I would not change that. So,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Jennifer. And you know, I think I made mention of this last night that you on this YouTube platform have truly, truly demonstrated what loyalty is. And I say that, and I'm sorry I'm talking slow, but you've demonstrated that in the way that you have honestly and purely and without hesitation supported and spoke up for, you know, the content creators that you absolutely support and believe in. And for that, I am so thankful to see that demonstrated like 100-fold.
and you know, it's funny because we always talk about Geminis, and I think one day we were joking about it in Saki's chat, you know, because people were like, "Oh my gosh, Geminis have two personalities," blah 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 blah. But the thing is that as a person, I am very very loyal, and I um I really ride hard for people that I believe in and that I love.
Yeah.
And I will give so many chances,
Mhm.
but whenever I'm done, I'm just done. You know,
Mhm.
I'm not going to keep explaining myself to you. And actually, you know, I have two best friends, and one of them, um, he and I like went through that for a while, and he was just still doing the same crap. And so I just blocked him on everything, and we didn't talk for 2 years.
Wow.
And then, you know, my other best friend, they were a couple. They were married at one point. They're not together anymore.
Mhm.
And you know, we were fine, you know, and then one day the one who I'd fallen out with just messaged me on social media and was just like, you know, I'm so sorry, you know, whenever I hear you all talking, I get so upset because I miss you and I know that I did these things wrong. And that's all I needed to hear, you know? I just needed ownership because I wasn't getting that before. I was like, you did all of these things and you did them to me, but you never would take ownership of them. And
Mhm.
that's all it took, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then we're fine now. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Right, right.
And so I have a very forgiving soul, but I'm not going to keep repeating myself
Sure.
about the same thing over and over again. And then you just think that I'm going to be okay with it because I'm not.
Mhm. And that, my friend, is exactly what we all need to do in regards to having in place some really, really structured and healthy boundaries for individuals such as that, you know, or who make decisions like that towards us.
And you know, the thing is that, you know, I had been in therapy, and I'm not saying that he was the only one who did anything wrong, because I certainly did things wrong too, you know,
Mm-hmm.
throughout our friendship. And then I got in therapy, and then he got in therapy. And the big thing about therapy is it's not only that you just get to vent to work through um, what you've been through, but it also forces you to take accountability for your own crap. And that's the only way that you can move forward. You can't just
Right.
pretend like you didn't do anything wrong. And so
Right.
just like I had to be accountable for things, he had to be accountable for things. And whenever we came back together, I feel like our friendship is even stronger than it ever was before because we are
Yes.
both still in therapy. You know what I mean? And we hold
Right.
ourselves accountable.
Right. And this is what we want to see, right? People's ability to become more self aware, transform, and evolve into a better version of themselves every single day. It doesn't stop with one, like you said, one therapy session, one conversation. No, it's a conscious effort that we have to make every single day.
And it's hard sometimes, not to slip back into your old ways. You know what I mean? Like
Of
it,
course.
it takes real effort to not, do that. And I think the longer that I've been in therapy, the easier it gets. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
But um, but I mean at first it was hard. I mean, because I was like, you know what? Yeah, I've had a lot of trauma, but that trauma manifested in ways that made me do things that traumatized other people. You know what
Mm,
I mean? And so
yes.
I have to be
Yes.
accountable for that.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes. T said, people like to say they take accountability, but you can't take about accountability without action.
That's right.
That is absolutely a fact. Absolutely a fact.
And it, like with just the topic tonight about triggers, there are things that still trigger me. There are things that are very triggering to people. And even whenever you are in therapy, I mean, I honestly think I know that a lot of people don't like the thought of medication for depression and anxiety, but
Yeah.
for me, it really was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And it has really helped me along with therapy. I feel like I need both.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing how different you can see things whenever, my anxiety would have my mind just racing and racing. And it wasn't just racing, it would make me think things were happening that weren't really happening
Right.
because I'm a very analytical person. And
Yes.
so by nature, I'm always thinking, well, why is this like this? And why is that like that? And did
Yes.
this happen because of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I needed something that would calm my brain a little bit so that I could think clearly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying, I don't, have triggers. I mean, girl, this
Oh.
week at work, I mean, there are some times at work whenever you feel like, how many times do I have to tell you this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just so
Mm-hmm.
annoying. But
Yeah.
like, you know, 7 years ago, I would have just went all the way off on somebody in an email. I mean, I would
Yeah.
have. I mean, I remember like one of my reviews was my boss, and he was telling me, you know, you know your job better than anybody else, and so I'm giving you the highest mark so you can get the maximum amount of a raise, but your mouth. He was like, your mouth. Because I would just, this is before I was in therapy or on medication, I would just go off
Mm-hmm.
because it just made me so mad. Like, I don't like repeating myself.
Right. Right.
And I don't like stupidity.
Yes.
And so
Ah.
I was like, if I'm a manager and you're a manager and we manage the same things but we're in different cities, how can you not know this and I know it? Because what's happening is we had like two different call centers at that time. And at that time, I still worked in the office and I managed a call center in one state. And there was another call center in another state. And the manager there, she just didn't know crap. And we would have like these conference calls with
Mhm.
our boss and with other people, like QA people. And she would be like, "Well, that answer was right," and I'd be like, "No, it's not. Like, we are grading, and one of the things is that we're grading and monitoring calls in a call center. and you're telling your people this is okay, but it's not. And
Mm,
so how the call queue works is that, we get cross calls. So if I'm in queue, then it will roll over to your call center. Or if you're in queue, then it will roll over to my call center. And
right, right.
my reps are telling them the right thing, and yours are telling them the wrong thing. And
Mhm.
whenever your reps tell them the wrong thing and then call back and get my reps, they're cussing out my reps because you told them the wrong thing,
Right,
you
right.
know? And so it's just,
Mm,
I just cannot, it's just something that I cannot take, you know?
mm, 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 mm. I get it. This is one thing too, similarly that just gets me when I look, sometimes it takes me a minute to understand certain things. It's just the way my brain works. And sometimes I'll have to ask a question. And before I really realize, maybe I know the answer already, I'll just ask it out loud because I want to understand. Like I seek immediate understanding in things. That's just how I am. I want to understand. I want to be able to work through a solution, and I want to know it now. And
Yeah.
so, um, but here's also the thing: it angers me when I don't understand, and it also can be not often, but it can be a trigger if I'm asking something that's like serious, right? That's like not just something that's just trivial that is like, who cares? You can Google it. When I'm asking something that's serious and it pertains to something essential, and I'm not given a clear answer to the specific question that I had thought about before I asked, and I get the runaround, that becomes a trigger because I get the thing that I'm unheard. I don't deserve to be heard. You know, those intrusive thoughts that sometimes can
Yep.
just bam, they're there, and you're like, no, but you feel it even though you don't want to think it, and you rebuke the thought. You still feel it, and it's a trigger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I absolutely. And whenever you were telling the story about the car dealership, and I said to Pam, I feel like it would have been different if it was me or her because we are white.
Right.
I feel like, even sometimes, like if I've been at the car dealership, I feel like they might, think a certain thing because I'm gay until I start going
Sure.
off,
Right.
and, you know, the sad thing is
Sure.
that people who they think are not smart enough or that they are above, they will talk down to you to try and get you to retreat.
Mm,
And I
mm,
used to be the person who retreated, and that
mm.
ended a long time ago.
And same with me, Jennifer. And my anger, instead of it being an outburst, shouting, yelling, cursing someone out, my anger turned inward.
And see,
And
that's not healthy because that's what I used to do.
no, it's
I used
not.
to bring it inward and I used to shut down. I would
Yes.
just shut down and I didn't want to talk to anybody and I didn't want to deal with it. And it was very, very unhealthy because then it manifests itself in other ways where you're taking it out on other people
Yes.
or in other, parts of your life that have nothing to do with it.
Right. Ah, and one thing I also learned, I did not know this before, but would develop these coping habits from way before we realize what we're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
And so all this anger turned inward became chronic depression,
Yep. Absolutely.
which is what I'm currently dealing with.
Absolutely. Been there, sweetie.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah. And so that's why learning these triggers and having, an increase in self-awareness and self-actualization even, it's so helpful. But you have to really learn and study and write and, process, and therapy is so, so crucial. It's vital.
It really is. And I
It's
mean, for
vital.
people who don't have access to it, I mean, even whenever I lived in a different state, just, I mean, I'm not ashamed to say that I have a psychiatrist, not because she really does anything other than prescribe my
Prescribe
medication.
medications. Right, right.
But, I remember one time being like really, really severely depressed. And, I was trying to find a psych doctor to go to, and it was a 6-month wait.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I mean, by then I don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so I
Oh
just gave up,
man.
you know, and
Yeah.
so it just never got any better. There were no therapists who were taking appointments. There
Yeah.
was, you just didn't have that. And
Yeah.
then whenever I moved to back to where I live now, you know, it was like I got in, and then I got a therapist, and this therapist has been working with LGBT people for like 30
Right.
years, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I found a doctor who is gay, which is wonderful because, he understands a lot of things that like a straight doctor would not understand. He knows questions to ask and things to talk about, and all of that stuff, and
Yeah.
all of those things are so important.
So important. You don't even know. Sometimes, not only, and I'm so sorry, honestly, that the healthcare system made you wait 6 months. Oh, um, but not only sometimes do we have that issue, but a lot of times, well, the first, maybe second, maybe third therapist, that we try, we may not work well with. And so that's also something, for anyone that has not ever been in therapy, trust your process. Okay. Until you can find a therapist that you have good rapport with and that you feel comfortable with, like someone who you feel positive that they can relate to you, that they understand you, that they're not dismissing you, that they seriously are your personal ally, and there's a real therapeutic professional relationship. Sometimes it takes, you know what I'm saying, more than one or two therapists. Some people are not a good fit with all, and
Yeah.
that is okay. And you have the right to advocate for yourself in selecting someone else.
And you know what? It's the same way with doctors. And the
Yeah.
thing is that whenever you're trying to work and you're trying to take care of your house, and if you have kids, which I don't, but if you have a family to take care of, all of those things, if you are so frustrated with, you know, trying to find someone who's listening to you, a lot of times you just give up.
Hmm.
And it's the same way with
Do.
doctors. I mean, I've been through I don't know how many doctors. And whenever I lived in a different state, I was telling them, look, like my hands are not working. Like I'm trying to work and my hands are not working. I can't be on my feet. Whenever I'm on my feet for too long, I go home and I fall down. And they're like, oh, you just need to lose weight. Like, I'm not really that overweight. I'm like, no, there are people who are like 3 times as big as me who are still walking around, like, and they're not falling down. Like, that's not it. And
Right.
whenever I moved back here and I found my doctor that I have now, he was
Mhm.
like, we need to test you for diabetes. And I was like, okay. Well, come to find out, I was
Oh,
diabetic,
oh my
very
God.
diabetic. And
Yeah.
the reason why I was having all these problems is because I have neuropathy in my hands and feet.
Oh my God.
So because it went on so long, I have nerve damage.
Oh no.
But he was able to put me on medications that help me
Yes.
and that help manage it,
Yeah.
and so that I can be a productive human being.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
just like sometimes doctors and therapists, they just don't listen to you, and you have to fight and fight to find one who is really going to listen to you so they can figure out what the real problem is. But whenever you're
mhm.
trying to work and live life and pay bills, a lot of times it becomes so frustrating for people that they just give up.
Yeah. Ah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. And you and I, at a lot of times in our lives, wanted to give up, honestly.
Yeah,
But there's some quality of resilience that helps us, that's naturally, innately in us, that enable us to adapt and think forward and move forward.
yeah,
We learn it. We are always adapting. We were always going forward. And sometimes we have to challenge ourselves in that. Lean on our social supports. You know,
absolutely.
um, all these different things, and find what works for us, and advocate with our healthcare providers. Ask questions. Don't allow yourself to be mistreated. Speak up for yourself. Advocate for yourself. Some of these things should have been affirmed in us when we were born and when we were children. Um, in some ways, the marks get missed, and of course they do, and that's okay. But it's our responsibility as a divine responsibility from the Most High to take care of ourselves first, and in that way, we can care for others.
Absolutely. And it always does help to have a support network. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whether we're just, YouTube friends or our friends in real life,
Yeah.
or, doctors, therapists, all of those things are very important. And, I think that, because I'm gay, I've always had to be a fighter, not physically, but
Right.
just like mentally, I've always had to fight,
Yeah.
and I also feel like, being Black and being a woman, you've had to have fights. And so it makes you a fighter. And so people always think, oh, well, you made it through this, so you'll be okay with this. But the thing is that like, we're good at fighting like big fights, but sometimes things that would not happen to other people, just like you with the car dealership,
Mm-hmm.
they make us shut down
They
because
do.
they are a fight that we shouldn't have to be fighting.
You're right. You're so right.
We're so worn out from fighting the big fights that whenever this little fight comes in, it's like, look, this is just too much.
Just too much. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, Jennifer. I am so, so thankful for you. I appreciate you coming up because this is a conversation that is always needed. We always will, especially as us, those of us who can relate to our shared experiences in a lot of ways. It's good for us to just be able to kind of talk about these things. For me, being open and this transparent is something that I have had to work to be able to do. There was a time I would never have pictured myself doing this ever in my life. It was like not even a mustard seed of a thought,
Right.
you know? But
And it doesn't have to be that we have the same fights. You know what I mean?
true. Very true.
Your fights are not the same as my fights, but the results of having to fight those fights often manifest themselves in the same way with us emotionally and physically.
Yes, exactly.
And so that's the important part that we need to talk about.
Absolutely. Well, do you have any final thoughts before I close out this live?
I don't. Other than, if they still giving you the runaround next week, girl, call me.
Call you. Okay.
All right. Love you.
I love you, Jennifer.
Hey,
Thank you
everybody in the
so
chat.
much.
Love you all.
Enjoy your days off. And
I will definitely do that. I'm going to
I will
drop
see
down.
you. Okay, I'll see you in the next chat. You know.
I know. Okay.
Okay, bye. Ah, I love, I love Jennifer. And I love that he's always willing to just come up and share a lot of wisdom and a lot of insight. And we can, go back and forth and really learn from each other and grow. Always ask questions. And when those answers don't match up, ask more questions. Yes. And when they shut you down, ask, is there anyone else I can speak to that might know how to answer the questions I'm asking? It's hard to find the right therapist to fit your individual needs. I totally get it. I also get what you're saying about doctors. I've had some horrible experiences with doctors. Yes. And it isn't until you actually get practice advocating for yourself in a way that brings about um, your needs getting met, you will struggle. But it takes time and practice and courage to continue doing it. And we're all capable. Amen. Ah, my Claire, you are so sweet. She really is. Ah, you are the best, Jennifer. He said, chat, y'all are the best. Yes, absolutely. I love you all so much. I'm going to close out. Again, thank you for tuning in to this topic about triggers. I thought it was really important. It's Friday. Well, actually Saturday now because it's 2:17 a.m. where I am. But these are the final thoughts that I want to leave you with. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything that you do flows from it. And one more thing. I wouldn't have made it through this night with the ability to plan this live if it weren't for another content creator that I was able to listen to and be enriched by and completely encouraged by and completely restore my peace. And that's Eagles Soaring High. He did an inspirational word for the day. And when I finished listening to that live, the scriptures he read and the prayers that he prayed, my soul was soaring like an eagle. And I just want to thank you, Minister Williams, for all that you contribute, and especially how you presented your video in such a way that it helped me process my tears and also be refreshed at the same time. And I really know that it was an answered prayer as well for me to be able to, watch it. So I'm going to message you. Thank you, Eagles, so much. And all of you, I know, have already liked this video and have also subscribed and checked out Eagles Soaring High's video from today. That will be a great inspiration for, and I think he's doing another inspiration in a few hours actually too, but really make sure you go back and look at the one from December 10th, okay? Because it was really amazing, okay? Here are my last and final thoughts before I let you all go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile yourself and others. That was Hebrews 12 and 14 and 15. Keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it. So why is that important? I'm just realizing that we're Andrea's angels. And how cute is that? Okay. So let's be angels and entertain some angels. Okay. Okay. And the last thing is that God has said to all of us, all of your family, all of your subscribers, all of your loved ones, all of your friends, all of your pets, all of your cares, he said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. So we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? For we are angels. I added that we are angels part in there, but I really like that. So that came from Hebrews 13, 1 and 2, and then 5 and 6. I feel so much better. I feel so grateful for all of you listening, all of you who have subscribed, all of you in the chat, whether you were here earlier, whether you came in through, whether you spammed. God bless you. May his grace and his mercy keep you. May you cast all of your cares and all of your anxieties onto him because he loves you. And like he said, he will never leave you and he will never forsake you. I love you all so much. And I mean that. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Thank you, T. Oh, I trust and believe that. I really do. Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Jennifer. You don't know how many people you've helped just by being you and sharing the things in your heart that are true. Thank you so much. You are so sweet as well. McClurg is saying to Christine, I understand some of the similar experiences in life. Thank you again. Absolutely. Shout out to Eagle Soaring High again. Please go and listen to that video from today. My God. At the end of the day, we are all so much more alike than we are different, and we all need each other. We do. That's why I'm so thankful that we have each other. I'm almost like getting emotional. Well, I've already been emotional. Let's keep it real. That's probably going to be another waterworks by the end of the night, but it's okay. It's going to be good ones this time, out of gratitude. Shout out to Eagles. Yes. And thank you, Andrea, Nelson, Mods. Yes. And all in the chat. Much love always. Oh my goodness. How do I ever even forget? Thank you, all moderators. Oh my goodness. Forgive me for ever forgetting to say thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness. Brown Skin Lady and Hear Her TV and Saki Speaks. Thank you so much. Yes, he's a good and kind soul. Okay. I want to do a little bit of a secret little thing. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. And we have your back too. Not a secret thing, but something more fun to kind of, send us off happy. You are both beautiful human beings, Andrea and Eagle Soaring High. Thank you. Thank you, McClurg, and you as well. You as well. Believe that. We love you, Jan. Yes, we do. Amen, says Spring McClary. Love you too, Christine. Love you, McClurg. All right. Last thing, okay? I want to give a $10 Cash App for the person who, okay, before I came on this live, I had a glass of wine and a bowl of popcorn. And that's why I was late. So please forgive me for that. And so what I'm going to do is, you know how you get to that last few bites of popcorn and you get like the little salt on the bottom, you get the little kernels, okay? I want you to guess at the end how many times I went back in the bowl to my mouth, in the bowl to my mouth for those last bits and crumbs of popcorn and salt. If you guess the number right or get closest to the number, I'm going to give away a $10 Cash App. If you want to participate, 1, 2, 3, go. How many times? No, my goodness, not even. So, does everyone have their guess? The correct answer is 30 times. I went back 30 times for those last bits of popcorn that's left at the end and the salt. Okay, so I'm going to give that to Spring McClary because she guessed. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to do that because it was funny to me. But anyway, Spring McClary, please DM me. Spring McClary, if you want the $10 cash app, please. She guessed 6. That was the highest number. So go ahead and DM me on Instagram, if you will. And I'll give you the $10 cash app, okay? That's it, guys. Oh, give it to Jennifer? Okay. Are you sure? Excuse me. Okay, Jennifer, you know what to do. That's it, guys. I love you. Don't forget to be kind to yourself, practice abundant self-care, and be kind to others, okay? It goes a long way. Bye.